of 1987, he had already logged plenty of miles during his career in comedy. Having first honed his improvisational comedy skills at the Second City Theater in Chicago, Candy had returned home to the Toronto Second City, evolving with that cast into one of the breakout stars of Second City television. From there, he had eased into feature films with standout roles in a series of well-received comedies, including Splash and Stripes. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was something new. This buddy comedy about an ill-fated road trip was what is commonly referred to in the business as a star vehicle for Candy and one of the biggest names in comedy at the time, Steve Martin. Candy was working for John Hughes, the so-called Steven Spielberg of teen films, who was now ready to add grown-ups to his cinematic universe. Renowned for having a great ear for dialogue, Candy had been impressed with the way Hughes had written so much of his own voice into his film's character, Del Griffith. Hughes had rightfully earned a reputation in Hollywood for writing long screenplays, but when he loved his actors, as he did here, he was equally happy to let them ad-lib. Candy and Martin initially basked in this freedom, which generated many hilarious moments that made it into Hughes's final cut, including the celebrated "Those Aren't Pillows" sequence, where the two actors awkwardly shared a comically cramped motel bed. But both actors grew concerned about what they felt were overindulgences on either side of the camera. As the 85-day shoot dragged on, they agreed to curtail their open-ended riffing and honor Hughes's carefully written dialogue, including one of Candy's best monologues in the film, where his character, Del, erupts after being berated one too many times by Martin's Neil. "You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. I'm the real article. What you see is what you get." In that moment, it was hard not to imagine that Hughes had somehow tapped deep into the soul of the real John Candy. It was true, whether they knew him or not, people liked John Candy, and those who knew him well even loved him deeply, as much for his inherent kindness as for his authenticity and integrity. Candy frequently played the jester, but he did not suffer fools and tolerated no disrespect toward himself or anyone else he saw being wronged. In a world where publicists routinely shield their star clients' dark sides from their adoring public, it is virtually impossible to find anyone with a bad word to say about him, even among those with whom he had the occasional artistic or business disagreement. One would be hard-pressed to detect any lasting grudges. He lived large, loved even larger, and the world loved him back in return. In her memoir, his SCTV co-star Andrea Martin described how everyone who came into Candy's orbit felt elevated by his presence. "He was a volcano of joy," she wrote. "It's no wonder the whole world still misses him." John ate, drank, and danced happiness. 1. Enter laughing. On October 31st, 1950, Sidney and Evangeline Candy of Newmarket, Ontario, took their new baby boy, John Franklin Candy, home from Newmarket General Hospital to meet his 2-year-old brother Jim. John was born on Halloween, and while it is tempting to presume that this accident of birth inspired a lifetime of dressing up in costume, nothing about the cute, drooling cherub that Sid and Van carefully swaddled in his crib particularly foretold of John Candy's evolution into one of the most highly rated actors that Canada ever sent to the movie screens of the world. The roots of the Candy family tree first extended into Canada when John's paternal grandfather, Charles, emigrated from Bristol, England, to Quebec in 1913. 7 years later, John's father, Sidney, was born in Toronto.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free,